Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ali and today I'm sharing my top tips for first-time camp counselors. So if you're watching this video, it means that you're off to camp this year, or maybe you just like me and you like my channel, and either way, that's awesome. Thanks for watching this, even if you're not going to camp. But yeah, basically I have had so many requests to film this video, and I'm sorry that it's taken so long, but I wanted to kind of have my thoughts all coherent and put everything together so I could actually help you out, because this is the kind of stuff that I wanted to hear for my first time. Look, I'm filming with natural light. It's gonna change. Let's just get that out of the way and we'll be fine. Okay, my first tip is if you're nervous, don't be. I know that's easier said than done, but like I definitely felt a bit, not apprehensive, but I just was a bit uncertain before going into it my first year, and I really had nothing to worry about. If this is the first time for any of you working internationally or going overseas for a long period of time on your own, or maybe even flying on your own, it's a big step, but it's really cool. And once you've done this, I think you'll feel a lot more independent, and maybe it'll inspire you to do more things in the future. So don't worry about it, you're gonna be fine. Okay, my next tip is to join your camp's Facebook group. So my camp has a Facebook group especially for the international staff, so we could chat on there and see what other cities people were coming from close to us, or coordinate flights. So that was really cool, and you could ask questions, and that's how I saw that other girl in the group ask a question about like being vegetarian at camp, and I was like, oh cool, like I don't eat meat either. And we ended up like going out for breakfast the day before camp in New York. So that's a really cool idea. You can meet people, just maybe might feel a little bit less nerve-wracking going into it if you already have spoken to someone or have made a friend even. And if you have any questions, like this group is a great opportunity to voice your concerns or ask anything, because chances are if you have a question, someone else will have that question too, so you can kind of help each other out. Next is tips for when you're actually at camp. So my first one, this is a very underrated but important tip in my mind, and that is drink water. That might sound obvious, and it should be, but you'd be surprised how easily you forget that. So please drink water. Throughout the summer, be drinking water all day, especially, you know, on the really hot days, but just have water with your meals, take a drink bottle around, and encourage your campers to do the same, because it's a very avoidable problem. Hydrate. The next tip is to sleep, or at least rest when you can. You're working for 2 months pretty much 24/7. You obviously have days off and rest periods and whatever, but like camp is so exciting that you almost convince yourself not to even take those chances to rest, because I mean, at least personally for me, when I have a rest period or even a day off, I just love spending as much time as I can actually at camp. Like I just love being around everything and everyone, and that can be very draining, especially towards the end of camp when you're just staying up and everything's happening. So just really take those opportunities when you can to rest, even if you're not sleeping, you know, have a lie down, read a book, whatever it is, and let your body just kind of breathe for a minute. Sleeping is obviously just really important anyway. Like you need to have energy every day, you need to be taking care of kids, you need to keep yourself healthy so you're not getting sick, because it's kind of inevitable, you will get sick at least once. But you know, drinking water and sleeping will help that. I know those are such basic tips, but it's honestly the basics that you need to remember. The next tip is gonna kind of contradict my last one, but just hear me out. This tip is to stay busy. They'll teach you this in orientation week. The best way to keep your kids from getting homesick is to just keep them busy, keep them distracted. And that goes for you too. So if you're someone that hasn't traveled a lot before, or is feeling a little bit homesick, just get busy and stay busy. Like stay around friends, stay around your kids, and you kind of don't have time to think about everything going on at home. Like I said before, if I had a rest hour or, you know, some downtime, you can choose between resting and hanging out with people. I would almost always choose people, but that's me. I know myself, and I'm pretty good at running with no sleep. It was just always worth it to be around other people, and even just doing something low-key like sitting and reading in the sun, or you know, hanging out in someone else's bunk. You don't have to be doing something crazy that will exert a lot of energy. It just means you never really have time to think of anything outside the camp bubble, which is my favorite place to be. That said, know yourself, know your limits, and know what works for you. If you are a very introverted person that needs a lot of rest and alone time, then take that time for yourself. And if you're someone that's extroverted and gets their energy from being around others, then be around others. You know, just know yourself and do what you need to do. The next tip kind of rolls on from the last one, but it is to forget about the outside world. This is only 2 months of your life. Give it everything you've got and be with those people and be present. I've never felt more present in my life, or at least let's say in the past, you know, 10 years since we've had the internet and social media and things like that. I've never felt more present than when I'm at camp, because you're living in the moment all the time. You know, you don't have your phone out, you don't have your phone on you. You are just talking with people and being with people, and you kind of just forget that anything else exists outside of this bubble. A day at camp is like a week in the real world. So much happens in one day that it just doesn't, like, time doesn't really feel the same. So be where you are and enjoy being where you are. Forget about everything going on outside. The next tip is to give it everything you've got. With camp, like anything in life, you'll get out only what you put in. If you kind of just do everything kind of like 50-50 and don't try your hardest, then you're not gonna have a 100% experience. Give it all the energy you've got, give it all the love and the heart and the soul, and you will get that back tenfold from your campers, from your co-counselors, from the beautiful experiences. Just like put in everything and you'll get it all back. Being a camp counselor is the hardest job you'll ever love. So it is hard work and you're doing about 100 different jobs. You're basically someone's parent for a summer, but it's also the most rewarding thing. My next tip is to leave your expectations at home. No matter what you have in mind that this summer is going to be, just forget it. I'm sure you've watched other camp videos, maybe you've seen my videos of my camp, maybe you've seen The Parent Trap 100 times, but just forget everything you think you know about camp. I think this experience will be more fun, more hard work, more exhausting, and more life-changing than you know. Have no expectations, and that's the best way to go into it. This is something I'm so glad I did, and that is to keep a journal. So I personally have a terrible memory, and I also am a very sentimental person that likes to remember things. So bring a journal with you and just write down at night, maybe before bed. Just take 5 minutes and you can write like either what you did or how you're feeling or something you're looking forward to and excited about. Just anything like that that will help sort of capture the magic, and you can look back on that in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. You can give it to your kids. I love reading my camp diaries from the past 2 years. It just makes me so happy and it transports me back into that exact moment. So write, your future self will thank you for it. My next tip is to just go into this with the right attitude. Attitude is everything, your perspective is everything. So if you go into this, you know, thinking that you're not gonna do a good job or you're not gonna have a good time, then you're probably not, because your thoughts manifest your reality. So if you go into this open-minded and enthusiastic and ready to change some kids' lives and make amazing friends, then that's exactly what's gonna happen. As Troy Bolton would say, get your head in the game. Okay, and lastly is to pack correctly. Now, I'm not going to give you a packing list because your camp will provide that. Take that list and follow it and ask questions if you need to. Look at what state your camp is in and what the weather is like during those months. Usually it's going to be pretty hot, but you kind of need to prepare for everything. So have a raincoat, have flip-flops or shower shoes or whatever you need. But everything besides, you know, your clothes, you can kind of buy there. So during your orientation week, your camp will probably send a bunch of you counselors to Walmart and you can buy anything you need. The one packing tip that I will give you is to take a watch. I'm not going to say I can't read analog time, but it definitely takes me a lot longer. So I have a digital watch. It is waterproof and it just, you know, shows me the time. It's also a calculator. Shout out to my boy, Dwight Schrute.
You know what? Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, so I thank you.
Now, if any of you are watching this, maybe deciding if you want to be a camp counselor or not, because obviously it's not for everyone. The things I would say that you need to have in your personality to become a good counselor or to enjoy the experience is you must love kids. Like, your job is literally to take care of kids all day long. So if you don't like kids, then don't do it. And secondly, I would say you need to like nature. For me, I love nature, so this is great. But if you don't like bugs and forests and squirrels and leaves and getting dirty and like being in a lake, then don't do it either. But if you like that, and if you love seeing the most beautiful sunsets you've ever seen and the clearest sky and brightest stars, then you'll love it. This is Ali from the future. One of my friends has replied so far. So when I asked them about, you know, their best camp advice or what they wish they knew, she said, "You will feel out of place when you arrive, but don't let it consume you. Say yes to every opportunity that is presented to you and you'll forget that you've never done this before." That is spot on advice. You might feel like a fish out of water, you know, in the first week or the first day. It's obviously new territory for anyone that hasn't been to camp before, but don't tell yourself that you're gonna feel like that the whole way, because you're not. You're gonna get used to it. It's just a learning curve and you'll feel at home before you know it. Nothing I say can prepare you for this, but leaving camp on the last day is like the hardest thing you'll ever do. Last year on the bus home, I was fine. I was completely cool. I was sitting next to my friend. We were having a chat and like, I think he was getting more emotional than I was at this point. And then our boss got on and was saying goodbye to everyone. I just lost it. I started crying. Cried myself all the way from Connecticut to New York. That's just normal. When you love a place so much, you'll feel that same emotion. So just prepare for that. Some inevitable truths throughout your summer. You'll probably get sick at least once. You'll probably lose at least one thing in the washing. You'll probably be scared at one point to do something to get outside your comfort zone, but if you do it, you'll feel amazing. My friend Dylan just responded, thank you Dylan, and he said his tip is don't stress about finding friends or people to travel with after camp in the first few weeks of camp. Everything will fall into place. I think that's very natural because we know we have the 30-day grace period afterwards with our visa to travel. So you think, oh my gosh, I need to like figure it all out now. But don't stress. Everyone's in the same boat as you, and I think I ended up making my plans kind of like second to third last week of camp. So don't stress. You will find people that you want to travel with, and yeah, you'll be fine. All right, well, this sun is truly taking over now, so I'm gonna say goodbye, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you're really, really excited for this because I'm excited for you, and I remember how excited and also nervous I was before I first did it, so I get you. It's all good. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel and it shows me that you like this video. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. All right, guys. Well, I hope you like this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart?